All right. I think we were going to skip the music this time around just because it's so long. I'll shorten that down for us for next week.
So what happened to us?
So
The live just died?
yeah, like it said we were going, and then all of a sudden, like little error triangles. I'm like, wait, what is this? So hello again.
Yeah, we're back, and we are definitely in a Mercury retrograde.
So we're gonna redo.
That's right. There
We
we
were talking
go.
to everybody, and you didn't even hear us.
No, 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 no. We're just coming on right now. There we go.
Right, we're scooting in like those last minute students, like nothing ever happened.
Right, right,
Um,
right, right.
so hello again, Amy. Hello again, Brooke. And we were answering Rebecca's question about ghost mosquitoes and whether or not there are ghost insects.
Yeah, like I was saying, the smallest mammal that I've ever seen was a African pygmy hedgehog, and it was mine. And I saw her spirit when she died. I've never seen an actual bug, an actual insect. Oh my God, the idea of ghost spiders in my house. No, no. Can't even go there. No.
That's going to open up a whole discussion of then earthbound spirits, right? That's I guess like a solar in essence. So people have them. Warm-blooded animals seem to have them, but reptiles, dinosaurs, and insects, are they soulless? If there's no ghost dinosaurs, ghost bugs, or
Maybe all the ghost dinosaurs crossed over and came back as elephants or rhinoceroses or something. I don't know.
ostriches, chickens, because they say those are what?
Right. So I don't know. No, I've never seen a ghost chicken. I know. Now you have me going. No.
Quandary.
Yeah, I've seen big animals, horses and that kind of stuff, but I've never seen. Nope. Okay.
We're going to make a list. Have seen, not seen, and make a comparison.
Yeah. Good enough.
Hello, Natalie. BBs. Let's see. Oh, it's 10 o'clock there. So they're exactly a 12-hour difference from us.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Hello?
And where is she at again?
You know what? Let us know. Hong Kong, maybe? Is that?
I don't know what that means.
I forget. I feel bad now because she's with us all the time, but there's so many places that we have friends in. Swifty, Melanie. Let's see.
Just a reminder while you're looking is tomorrow is the law of abundance. So don't forget to do it. It's also a solar eclipse, and we should, if it's not raining, we should be able to see the solar eclipse here tomorrow, which would be at 6:53 a.m., which is, you have to write your check out after midnight, but before 6:53 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, adjust your time accordingly to wherever you are, but it is definitely tomorrow, and it should be a strong one with the eclipse. So don't forget to do it.
Stay up or set an alarm a little extra early.
Correct.
So hello, Melanie. Favorite part of Melanie's week. Yay. Sandy. Hello, Sandy. Before her conference call a little later. It's very rainy here today, too. Actually, it was supposed to be rainy all week.
The sun's shining now, but I don't think it's going to last.
Yeah, not here. So more's coming your way because I think I'm on the one side of you. So it's coming. What does my shirt say? So this is one of the shirts kind of coming up. So my favorite essential oil is chloroform. So we have these in the store. Let's see. Hey, Lisa. Oh, yes. So she's in Hong Kong. So yay.
Okay. All right. That's good.
Let's see. Yep. Looking for the, hey, Lewis, our buddy. Don't forget your time difference. Hopefully,
please don't forget your time difference.
The exotic Southern Ohio. Hopefully, it's a little more.
Same time zone, though, so you're good.
How can you get one of these shirts? You know what? I don't know if I have them on the website yet, because I've got new people kind of coming in and working. If you send an email to the store, I'll get you lined out, or message us like on Facebook or something. We'll get you lined out, Melanie. And I've got them in from like small up to 3X, I think. So for us true crime fans, but yet still on the holistic side, why not?
Sure, it'll work.
And I joked, like, this is a dating tool here. Just a little bit of chloroform. Anybody can be yours in the trunk of the car.
That's right.
Let's see. So it peaks at 11:50. Oh, so Lewis has a little more time. He doesn't have to be up at dark 30.
Well, that's good.
I like that. Oh, so how do you address the law of abundance? And then I think we'll get into our Mercury talk, because you wanted to focus a little bit on Mercury, the positives and negatives today.
Okay. Sometime before 6:53 a.m. our time, Eastern Standard Time, you make a checkout for yourself. And let's see, let's put it this way.
Here, I'll take me off real quick.
Okay. Okay, you put your name on the line where it says pay to. You never put a date on it. You do not put an amount in, because you don't want to limit how much you can get. Then you write paid in full, and where you would normally sign your name, you write law of abundance. I have them made up on paper, and I take them in and have copies made on yellow paper, because yellow seems to draw it in a little bit more. And again, you have to save those. You cannot throw them out. I have shoe boxes full, and everybody has to do it for themselves. You can't do your husband's, only one name on a check. So, I mean, it takes 5 minutes to do. And what you can get back is just amazing. And people, 3-4 days after, people write the law of abundance, they will send over look what I just got from the law of abundance. It's like, great. It's monies or something that was not expected. So definitely, absolutely do it.
So I was going to say, this is what I do with mine. I get legal notebook paper.
Right. That's perfect.
And just cut it down,
right.
And they're easy to store.
Right. That's exactly right.
Oh, let's see. We have a friend from Westlake. Hello, Westlake. And Rockville, Maryland. Hello, Joshua. You know, it's funny. They're rebuilding my high school out there at Fort Meade. So part of me was like, I should go back out there and just do a drive-by and teenage memories of Fort Meade and Odenton, or Odington, as it pronounced, even though there's no ing in it.
Worcester.
Right. No date on the check. No date.
No date on the check. Don't want to limit yourself. Nope.
Yes. And my joke about the essential oil for dating. Maybe. That's all I'm going to say. Maybe.
Could happen. Could happen.
I mean, you too could become the star of your own true crime podcast with.
Never know.
Let's see. Well, kind of a good question from Robin. If you don't date it, why would it expire and need to keep remaking them?
Because every month the energy is different. Like tomorrow's is an eclipse, so it's especially strong. And it depends on what sign it's in. This one is in Gemini. And so then that has, Gemini. So that has influences on it too. And every month it's in a different sign. So that's why you do it every month.
Let's see. Melanie says she's going to send you a book about Savannah. And I'm sure this is more reason why we should go do a haunted tour down in Savannah. So use the address on your website, right, to send it to. That's where you'll get it.
Let's see what that does.
Yep. Let's see. So Lewis says, can the law of abundance make my designs any better? I feel like I've been in a creative drought, so I'm going to need divine intervention to make these look good.
While you're writing the checkout, I'm going to, I think most people probably are writing it out requesting or hoping for money, but you can ask for anything. I mean, I've said before that lady got a kidney. She asked for a kidney, and she had a rare blood disease, and they never thought she'd be able to get one, even though she was on the list to get a kidney. 3 months later, she got a kidney. So ask for anything. I mean, you're a hunky guy, a new car, whatever.
Let's see. So while we wait for some more questions, I know we had discussed last week that you wanted to go over Mercury retrograde, the do's and don'ts, the positive, the negatives. For those of us that buy into it.
Yeah. Well, and some people do and some people don't. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go into great detail on the 5:30 YouTube today on it. But it's not always bad. It can be good things happening too. And this is the second Mercury retrograde this year. We have one more in September. And again, they're calling this Mercury retrograde a little bit of a stinker because it is in the sign of Gemini, which means it's jumping from, and think about twins, it's jumping from one thing to another. So this seems to be a pretty active Mercury retrograde. And the three, there's definitely things that I think you should avoid, which I am not going to talk about, but things that it does work really well for. Say that you've been thinking about somebody that you graduated with from high school. Now would be a time to reach out on social media and see if you can find them. Now's a good time to reevaluate how your life has been for the last couple of years. Now is the time for change, so you can change or look forward, change your goals around a little bit. And this is the time to do it. For people that have had to have any kind of surgeries in a Mercury retrograde, you want to try to avoid elective surgeries, but accidents, things come up, you need it. Sometimes those surgeries are good, but they're not perfect. And so sometimes when you have a second surgery and it's in a Mercury retrograde, then it comes out perfect. So it's going back and forth. The more positive that you can think about a Mercury retrograde, the more it's not going to affect you. I believe in carrying either a blue aventurine, a sodalite, or a lapis lazuli. How do you say that? Lapis
lazuli.
That one. If you carry one of those stones, it actually doesn't put your mind in a fog. The little trick to those stones, though, is you have to carry them on your right side, not your left side. And as long as you carry one of those stones on your right side, the Mercury retrograde will not have that big of an effect on you. And I'm sure that you've got them at the Goddess Elite, Melissa, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do not have those on my website. So if you need those, get hold of Melissa. And when this Mercury retrograde is over, take your little stone, put it in a little bag of sea salt, and put it in the drawer for the next one. This is not a stone you have to carry with you all the time, only during a Mercury retrograde. So that's, like I said, I'm going to go into a more detail on the 5:30 YouTube today. But there's some positive things with the Mercury retrograde.
So there's the question about why on the right side to carry the stones for Mercury retrograde.
Okay. Everything comes into you from your right side, goes out through your left. By carrying that stone on your right side, you are blocking the energy from the Mercury retrograde to getting to you. So that's why you would carry it on your right side. If you're carrying a stone for a new job or love or health, you would carry that on your left side. So it depends on what you're using the stone for depends on what side you carry it. Some it doesn't make any difference, but there are some stones that it does make a difference.
Let's see. Now, I know that you and I have talked about like such things like if you're buying vehicles or property or anything with contracts.
Anything involving money, especially large sums of money. You got to be careful with the stock markets now. And buying a new car, you never want to sign the final papers in a Mercury retrograde. You don't want to sign the final papers on buying a new house in a Mercury retrograde, because when it's time to sell that house, it has to be sold in a Mercury retrograde. That house will be for sale forever unless you're giving it away. So just be aware of that. I have a story about one Mercury retrograde that really got us, but that'll be on tonight. Another thing, I talked to a lady not that long ago, and she has 4 children. She said, I don't understand the oldest one and the third one. She said, have such weird personalities compared to the second one and the fourth one. It was all mixed. It was boys, girls. It wasn't all one or the other. And so we were talking, and I said, I'm just curious. I said, go to an ephemeris, which is a book that you can get that looks up where the planets were on a certain date or time. Mm-hmm. But I bet you can find it on Google too.
I'm sure.
Yeah, like if you go 1990, where were the Mercury retrogrades in 1990? See if your kid was born on a Mercury retrograde. That could account for a lot of the kid being maybe a little quirky, maybe in their own little zone. And and just because they're born in Mercury retrograde, though, doesn't mean they're left-handed. So that's what she asked me. She says, well, 2 of them are left-handed. Is that because they were born in a Mercury retrograde? I don't think so. I have one daughter that can use both hands equally, and she was not born in a Mercury retrograde. So it's just...
I don't think Rune was, but like when he played baseball, he could switch hit and pitch, and didn't really ever notice if he had a stronger side in Taekwondo. He was pretty, but he's also ADD, ADHD, and hyperfocuses and becomes perfect at something before he just continues on. So, but I'm curious. I'll have to go.
Well, I had a friend call me up. And she says, my daughter, I think, is finally going to get engaged this Sunday. I said, like this Sunday? Like the end of this week? She said, yeah. I said, do you think you could take the guy aside and say, can you wait until after the 23rd of June? I don't think I would even want to be engaged during a Mercury retrograde.
And see, the skeptic in me is like, if you've been waiting for years, the last thing you want to do is tell the guy, like, no, wait a couple weeks.
If he loves you, he'll wait. What can I say? And people that have bad breakups, or again, it's not that hard, I'm sure, on a computer now to go back and say, did I get, because most people remember when they got engaged, Christmas, Valentine's Day, your birthday. I would be very curious to know for people that are engaged and it didn't work out, or the wedding fell apart, or did you get married in a Mercury retrograde? Oh my God, never. So I don't know.
Let's see. So turquoise, I'm not so sure if it works with Mercury, but a quick Google search could help you with that. Turquoise cuff bracelet, which side would you recommend I wear it?
Again, I don't have knowledge of stones. I don't know what turquoise is good for.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why people use turquoise, and that would be information you'd have to look up and find before you decided which side to wear something, or if it's one that doesn't make any difference.
I kind of, I know that there are so many people that will get into the receiving side, the giving side, blah, 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 blah. I always kind of go like, as long as it's on you somewhere, your energies and the energies of the stone are going to work together. So what if you were somebody who was either born without a left or right arm or leg, or, you no longer have that receiving? Does that mean the stone will never work for you? No.
No, of course not.
So,
of course not. Right.
I kind of default, like, if you can be mindful, absolutely do it. If it's like, hey, I'm somebody that I hate wearing jewelry because it's, maybe I'm hypersensitive and it bothers me, stick it in your pocket. A lot of us ladies, we stick it in our bras, my left
sock. That's
yeah.
right. I mean, you'd be surprised where a little stone can fit sometimes.
Right.
And that would just be the easiest way. It's like people that wear stones with their signs. Yes, I was born in March, but aquamarine is not my stone. That's the stone for March. The stone for Pisces is a bloodstone.
Mm-hmm. So always, the sign versus the month.
That's right. So if I'm going to wear a stone celebrating that, it will be a bloodstone. It will not be an aquamarine. Mm-hmm. So, and anybody, again, computers, I can't touch them, but obviously you all can, and just look it up and see what's the stone for Gemini or Sagittarius, or every sign has a planet that's their planet. So just pay attention.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. So a few more questions. Don't know where to get stones. So most metaphysical holistic shops will have it. We are still adding things to our website to get them on there. We just go through stuff so quick that sometimes, like, we'll have it, and by the time we get the picture and the description, like 20 minutes later, it's sold. I'm like, well, start over. But we do have tumbled of all of those, so which are usually about thumbnail size, is like what a medium tumbled size is. Do I design my shirts? So fashion talk with Lewis here. I have a local gentleman who prints t-shirts for a lot of the punk bands and everything. And his girlfriend, like, I'll message her and be like, this will be funny. And she'll kind of put the imaging and everything together for me. Right now, I think the next one that we'll have, only because I think I heard it in Supernatural or something, but just the one line was, hell was boring. And I'm like, that would be a great shirt. So we're playing with fonts and everything. So kind of, but she does a lot of the artwork. Like, I kind of know what I want it to look like, but I suck at making it come to fruition on the screen. So that's where Amanda does a lot better job than I do. Let's see. So, like Sarah saying, she keeps the rose quartz in her bra. If you're local to the store and you've ever been in on Psychic Fair, you've probably seen sassy Hawaiian grandma. She refers to her bra as her gravel pit. That's where she keeps her stones. And I'm like, that's forever how I shall refer to this. Hello, Gina. Jamie. Hey, Lewis. we might have something going on here. Yes, the gravel. We all snicker at it, and we all love that. Let's see. So Gina has a question. My friend suffers from schizophrenia. I wanted to get her a dream bag, but I'm not sure if it's a good idea or not. I believe she may have attachments. Would this be helpful for her?
Well, somebody that is truly diagnosed with that, I don't know if remembering the dreams would be that good for somebody with that kind of a health problem. But if there are ghosts attached to her, in each dream bag that goes out, there is a quince seed. So if there are spirits around her, and if she truly is a schizophrenic, there probably are, at least they would stay away from her while she's sleeping, and they wouldn't be able to disturb her. So that would be one reason. I don't know what kind of an effect it would have. I really don't know what it would do. The dreams are better. And is she somebody that really wants to remember her dreams? Because the mugwort will help her remember her dreams too, beside the other things that are in that bag that will help promote sleep. So I guess you would have to try it, but it would not hurt, at least to keep the spirits away from her.
So could Sandy has a question. Wonder if this retrograde is bothering my other son. He's been worried about his current relationship, even though his girlfriend has reassured him all is well.
You know, I think Mercury retrograde can put a lot of doubt in a lot of different people's minds for all kinds of different reasons. Sometimes when it's such a strong one like this one, like the first one this year was annoying, but not strong like this one. It almost makes your brain foggy, where you know what you want to do, but you can't even say what you want to do. You can think what you want to do, but it's not coming out. So yeah, it might have something to do. I would seriously get one of these stones and have the kid carry it. See if it doesn't make a difference.
And Linda says, I'll need a new roommate July 1st. Should I wait to sign contracts until the 26th of June? Have some bloom aventurine. I don't know if she said she already has it, or should she get it and have it on her while doing the contract?
If you have your stone, reread it very, very good and go ahead and sign it. But if you can wait till after the 26th, I would though.
Let's see. Oh, so maybe a question having to do with some of the new numerology or numerals. Numerals. Wow, more coffee. Sandy says, good morning from Amherst. That's not too far from me. Since 2015, every so often I see the number 11 for days in a row. I wake up in the night and glance at the clock and there is 11 for a second. I get in the car from shopping and there is the 11 for just a second. So many times each day for several days. Someone said this is spiritual.
I know that ones are usually angel numbers. I know fours are angel numbers. I am not a numerologist. I do not know what the numbers mean. I know that when I see numbers, they're always in order. It's in the afternoon, I look at the clock and it's 12:34, 1, 2, 3, 4. On the way home from someplace, I look at the clock on the dash and it's 3:45, 3:45. I don't know why. And again, you'd have to get a good book on it or talk to a numerologist. I don't know. Do you have a numerologist at the store, Melissa?
I have a few that kind of like have interests and stuff, but none that are like studied hard in it. Yeah.
There was a lady that was really good in Parma, but I believe she's retired. I haven't heard about her for quite a while, so I don't know if she's around anymore or not.
Hello to a new friend joining us here. And Adam asked, do earthbound spirits feed on positive energy or only negative?
Energy, positive or negative. And unfortunately, it's much easier for them to cause problems in a house than it is to make people laugh. Like the comedy clubs that used to be around. Oh my gosh, those are full of ghosts. And what's everybody doing there? Laughing until they're crying. And so, yeah, but energy is energy. That's what they feed on, negative or positive energy.
Let's see. So Patrick asks, can earthbounds choose to manifest to people? It seems like in certain places like the Queen Mary, people seem to have a lot of sightings.
Okay, think about it, and we'll use the Queen Mary as an example. Look how many people can be on the Queen Mary at the same time in relatively a small space. I mean, it's not like there's all these people standing, in a football field. So yes, there's going to be a lot of earthbound spirits that are attached to the guests on the Queen Mary, which give them more energy, which means that sometimes they are easier to see. But that would definitely account for that. And especially if it's the week working up to a full moon, or tomorrow being a new moon, it starts tomorrow and is over the next day. So depending on the time of the month too. But yes.
So Lewis has a last question about fashion before we start designing things. We could have a Marianne like designing line here going on. But did you by chance take pictures of the Fashion Week when you were there?
I did not. I'm too busy talking and people are asking questions, and I'm looking at stuff that nobody else can look at. So no, and you have to remember, I can't touch anything electronic. And the obvious thing to do if you were there, I'm sure would be use a cell phone, which I don't have. And the last phone I had that worked for 10 minutes was a flip phone, and I don't even know if that could take pictures or not. So I don't know. And the other cameras that you would get, I would have to actually couldn't use a digital camera. I would actually probably have to use one of those disposable film cameras. And no, I
Do they even sell those anymore?
yes, they do, believe it or
Really?
not. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be around for about another year and a half, and then they're done. And my guy from Quantico retired, so which is fine because I don't really have any film pictures to send him anymore anyway, because everybody does digital.
Like I haven't looked for one in so long, but you know, they used to be like the rows of them at like CVS, Rite Aid, Walmart.
Right. And it's not so much even buying them, then it's taking them someplace to get developed.
Mm-hmm. Who can do that?
Right. But it's interesting. And one of the houses that I did, I told her to have one of those cameras there. And I said, did you get a camera? She goes, yes. And she took it out of the package and I couldn't believe it. It's a digital disposable camera.
Oh.
No, that's not going to work.
Overkill. Like, why put the technology to throw to?
I know it. And they came back. What were those called where you could just take the picture and it would pop out? It was a pretty
Polaroid?
big Polaroid, right. Well, now they have a little ones.
Mm-hmm.
And those don't do very well either. Seriously, it has to be a film camera.
I kind of thought those might, because I'm like, oh, those are kind of cute.
They're cute, but not so much.
So Brooke is asking if you're going to do a update or more information to come for When Ghosts Speak.
I would, except that publishing houses have really clamped down. And like the fiction series that I have 4 more books to go in order with the same characters and everything. And there's a new editor. I have a new editor at Random House, and she absolutely hates the books. So she says, no more. And the only good thing is that editors seem to transfer out pretty frequently. So maybe the next editor will like the book. I don't know. Yeah, When Ghosts Speak, I could probably come up with enough stuff for a second book on that. But again, they're not buying them. And I mean, I'm not, Stephen King or, one of the big authors, Michelle Obama. No, don't have those kind of pulls. So no.
Danielle Steele.
That's right. Not happening.
So you just need to start writing paranormal romances, because I could not keep those books on the shelf at Borders. And let me tell you, those little old ladies that worked in Tower City at the bank, they read some smutty stuff. Like every Tuesday, they wanted their vampire, werewolf, ghost, like smut books, and we would just make the stacks, like here's so-and-so's, here's so-and-so's, here's so-and-so's, and they'd come in and we just hand them the stacks of the paranormal romance. So maybe you got to take your ghost game.
Well, Melissa, you notice it too. When we do an event, when Ghost Speak has been out for so long now, 10, 12 years now that book has been out. Mm-hmm. And we joke about it because we see the same people at a lot of the events, but yet those books still sell at every event. It's like, where are these books disappearing to that people are still buying them? Don't get me wrong, I'm very happy about it, but it's, they just keep on coming. So,
well, here we go. And Melanie says Stephen King can't hold a candle to you.
Oh, we are definitely going down south.
And speaking of, let's see, I just saw the question. Hello, Emily. Are you doing any ghost talks outside of Ohio?
Hello, Emily. And I miss talking to you. No, this is just starting to ease up and everything. And this is probably going to still be a close, maybe Pennsylvania, something like that. But I'm not coming to Texas anytime soon. So
it's going to take me some coaxing. Come on, Marianne, let's leave Ohio.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe in wintertime where it's warmer down there, to get away from the cold and the snow up here. We'll become traveling snowbirds for wintertime. So speaking of traveling around and maybe doing events, Brooke asks, when you go to famous haunted places, do the people who own them discourage you from crossing the spirits over?
That is one of the reasons. There was a travel agency that wanted to do a ghost tour through Europe and through the different castles that are there. And so she was making all the arrangements, and I'm not sure exactly how that works. You get enough people signed up for it, then it wouldn't cost Ted or I anything to go on the trip. They're incentives. And so it was like, I don't know if this is going to work or not. Well, it turns out, I told her, I says, we're not going by the seat of our pants. I says, I want to know which castles we're going to. And I need to know this stuff. And turns out they didn't trust me not to release the ghosts. And they make money on their ghosts. They charge a lot of money for people to come through, sleep overnight, listen to the ghosts rattling the chains in the hallway. Okay. And so, no, they do not want me there. I got into trouble at a bed and breakfast in Medina. And it was, of course, October, Halloween. And one of the TV stations wanted to do a thing for it for, the news. And so they found this house in Medina that was a B&B. There were 3 ghosts in there that were totally irate with this woman that owned this place. Totally aggravated. And that's what she was doing. It was, that's how she advertised it. Come and stay at the haunted B&B. And she made me promise that I would not make the white light and release any of them, which they're her ghosts. I did not. I know it's her place. I did not do it. But then the 15, 16-year-old girl that was there said, I really want to see my mom and dad. And I said, I can't make the light for you. And she said, all right. And I said, but if you want to cross over, why don't you go down to the funeral home at the corner of the street when there's a service going on and just use that white light? So I did not make the white light for them. But it was about 2.5 weeks later, the lady that owned the B&B calls me up. She goes, what did you do with my ghosts? I didn't do anything. And she says, you released them. I said, I did not. which I did not. And she says, well, I don't know where they went to. And I'm thinking, well, in all honesty, I don't know where they went to either. So I don't know. And I would get the urge to do that in a castle. I would tell them, I hate to see them stuck. So I would tell them, even if I didn't release them, I would tell them how to do it themselves if they really wanted to go.
I mean, it's just some form of like entrapment, and in a way like slave. You're keeping them against their will because they don't know how to do it, and you're just trying to make money. You're benefiting off of them.
Right. You're taking advantage of them. You know, I joke about it. You know, ghosts can come home with me too if they want to iron and do windows. But, you know, that's not going to happen.
So where did it go? There was the joke from Sandy about how I shouldn't use my favorite essential oil to get you out of Ohio.
You'd have to come up with a pretty good one.
What's this rag smell like, Marianne? Sniff it for about 2 minutes straight, because despite what you
smell it, right?
Yeah, chloroform is not fast acting.
No,
Actually,
no.
A couple
chloroform has a very unique smell if you've ever smelled chloroform.
Yeah.
So it's a sweet, sickening smell to begin with. Pretty obvious.
Yeah.
I did work for one of the law enforcement agencies. The 3 people were actually killed with chloroform. So, and
yeah,
that's why I know what it smells like.
Let's see. So there was a question. Oh, here we go. Can earthbound spirits make someone ill? If so, how ill?
You have young children under 10 or 12. The kids are going to have constantly ear, nose, throat, upper respiratory problems. And it sort of gets better after 10 or 12, but when they're young, if you're an adult and you have them in the house, unexplained headaches when you're home, a lot of sinus problems, a lot of lower intestinal problems. And anybody that's on any kind of prescription drugs, if you've got them in your house, your prescriptions are not working as well as they could. And if your doctor is saying, gee, you got used to these, let's change the prescription, or these aren't working as well as they should, let's increase the dose, it's a red flag. There's a reason why. So, but they can't touch you and give you a disease, but they can, if they're with you when you're having an x-ray or blood work or MRI or anything like that, the results won't be accurate, and a doctor could miss what is actually wrong with you because of a ghost. So yeah, they definitely can affect health.
So Gina says, I currently live in a house with 8 other roommates. You are a saint. I don't think I could tolerate 8 other people. I've tried to move many times in the past few years, but something always comes up. Am I possibly being influenced by earthbound spirits to stay?
You know, Gina, without a phone call from where you're living or getting on Zoom so that we can see if there's something in the place or not, I'm going to figure with 8 other people living in this house, there's a lot of energy. And does that mean you probably have something in the house? I think there's probably a really good chance. But why they would be influencing you to stay, that would be a question we'd have to figure out.
Other than it just causing stress and getting the energy from it, maybe.
Right.
Right. Deborah says, a few nights ago, our security camera picked up a light moving around our yard. My husband could see it on the camera feed, but not when he looked outside. It happened 27 times in 5 hours. Spirit? UFO?
I would say no to the UFO. No. Spirits, yeah, earthbound spirits definitely can mess with outside lights. It's like when people see the orbs on baby monitors. But those are spirits that have crossed over and are good. and they're there anytime you see an orb, but messing around outside, yeah, especially if your house has been cleared and the seeds are up and they can't get in. Oh yeah, then they can do all kinds of stuff with your cameras outside.
So, question. I'm just curious if psychics can actually talk to the dead loved ones, or can they only talk to the familiar spirits that inform them about loved ones of whoever is there for the reading?
Okay. When I do a house, I only see earthbound spirits. Now, if one of them had a little bit of ability when they were alive and they see maybe the homeowner's mother that's dead come to visit, they'll tell me and I can tell her. I cannot see them. But there are people that can talk directly to the loved ones that have crossed over. And those are people like James Van Praagh or John Edwards. They don't see earthbound. Well, I guess John or James, I guess, does now. But normally they don't see people that are earthbound. They only see people that have crossed over. So yeah, there are people that can do both or do one or the other. I question anybody that says they can see both, though. I think the only ones that can truly see both of them are little kids until they're about 7 or 8, then they lose it. I think they can see guardian angel spirits that crossed over. They can see the whole realm of all of the woo-woo stuff, but I don't believe adults can see both. I think that's really hard for an adult to do that.
I don't know, Marianne, if you do much with the other retrogrades, Neptune, Uranus, because Joshua says he was born during a Neptune and Uranus Mercury, and he's not sure what that means. And I myself don't do much with astrology other than I like astronomy because the whole science just fascinates me. But I'm not sure.
I'm sure that would have some kind of an effect on you too. The trouble with those planets when they go into retrograde, they're not in retrograde for just 2 or 3 weeks like a Mercury. They're in retrograde for a long time, and it can affect your life. Again, you have to see when you were born, which one of those planets affect your sign. So it's complicated. There's a lot of math involved with astrology, which I don't do. And so, but there's some good books on it, and there's some really good astrologers out there. That's where you would get that information.
I know in Westlake, Ohio, there is an astrological school. So they actually teach you how to make the charts by hand, calculators and pencil charts.
That's what Ted and I did. That's how we learned how to do it too. And because I'm not the math person, I mean, I've got a little bit of knowledge about it, but but Ted loves math. And he ended up doing astrology on the radio, on the Morning Exchange. He used to do that.
We need a TED weekly astrology discussion.
Yeah, the look on the face, I don't think so.
Come on, Ted.
I don't think it's happening.
Drats. So now I could always kick all of the astrology questions like
that way, right?
Ted on this day at this time. Let's see. Because we all know my opinion on it. Let's see, trying to go back through all of these questions. Let's see. Oh, okay. So Jamie is signed up for Zoom a little later this month. So what we do on the Zoom, so these Wednesday mornings, you guys can see us. We cannot see you, which is why Marianne cannot answer questions about what's going on in your house because she can't see you or your house. On the Zooms, we limit it to only 30 people. It's $20. Everybody gets to ask 2 questions, and Marianne can answer questions about if there's any negative energy on you, if there's earthbound spirits in your home, if you have a portal. So you can ask in regards to that. It is not broadcasted for everybody to watch. The only people that get to know what's going on are the other people that signed up to be in that event. We'll put the link up for somebody to be able to sign up, because the next one that has availability is on the 21st, and there's 5 slots left for that one. Otherwise, you're looking at July 9th. So now, to ensure that all of your current friends, and I'm assuming with the quotations, you mean any of your possible ghost friends, there's not
Dead friends, right?
a way to make sure they're going to be there unless you taunt them, and then you're running the risk of like your electronics failing.
No, and don't forget on it's the 21st, right? We're still in Mercury retrograde.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I wouldn't. And this is the thing, even if you're on Zoom and I'm talking to you and there is no ghost there while we're talking, I can still pick up on residue and tell you if it's a man or a woman or how many. So you would still get the information even if they weren't there when you were doing this. And just so, again, throw it out there, nobody under 18. I don't want your kids in the room when I'm talking to you. That's not my job to tell you or explain to your kids what a ghost is. That's your job. So, but yeah, they're good. I think people get a lot of information from them.
Let's see, making sure I didn't miss anything that's not. Oh, so I saw Brooke. She made the comment about how, like, if the business owners of the places that are haunted, if they refuse to let you release them, does that? Her theory was that it creates a whole different type of negative energy on the business. I know I read it. Now I can't find it.
Having ghosts in your business affect your business. They do not bring in customers unless you are advertising as a haunted B&B where you're using the ghost to make money. But if it's a regular business and you've got earthbound spirits in it, your business is not as good as it could be because of them. Mm-hmm. You know, you can have the cutest little store on a city block, and it's so inviting, and you've got a couple ghosts in there, and people walk in because the windows are done beautifully and there's all interesting things and people want to come in and look. But if there's ghosts in there and they get that creepy, ooh, I don't like the energy in here, those people are never going to come back. So having earthbound spirits in your house, like I said, or your work, unless you're making money off of them, it's really not a good idea.
So Sarah says, caught my son trying to share food with a spirit. He was very fixed on it, reaching out to give it snacks. I had this overwhelming feeling that it was my grandma coming to visit.
Well, you could ask your son if it was a lady or a kid or who it was, you know, to know. And grandmas that have crossed over always visit their grandchildren. So it could be.
Mm-hmm. So, you know, a little comment about adults can do whatever children can see. It depends on whether their inner child is still alive. So
I think as you mature and your brain evolves, I think sometimes too much logic is involved. And no, you can have wishful thinking of doing things when you were still a kid, but I don't think that it's that easy.
I mean, some people can go back and, you know, kind of reopen things, but it's harder. It takes more practice. I mean, we can all think of things that we used to do as kids and teenagers that no matter how hard you try to do it now, you just can't. Either the muscle memory's gone, you're overthinking it, you're getting in your own way. So, I mean, it's just this, something.
I don't think, no, and as an adults, we're just not innocent enough. Kids are so innocent. They have no inhibitions. You know, when they see something, they see it. You know, you see something, you go, what was that? Who was that? I mean, kids don't do that. Kids go, hey, hi.
Right.
They don't care what or who. So,
Let's see. Oh, it just jumped. Oh, so while I go back and find the other question that just ran away from me, have either one of us ever astral projected? I find it incredibly interesting, and I was just wondering if you guys have ever done it.
I have, and I will not do it ever again. I did it, and it's not my cup of tea. Ted does it frequently. He likes, and he buzzes around other planets. No, not me. What I can do right now is enough. I don't have to add anything more to it. So this is enough to make me crazy some days. So.
I tend to do it when I don't plan on it, usually when I'm sleeping. So I'll go days where I'm like, oh, I'm so tired. I slept 12 hours and I'm still tired. Well, but I'm like, I vaguely remember doing this, and this.
That's why.
And it's usually kind of funny. And I'll go see people that live away, friends that live away. And my friend Rhonda, who's now in West Virginia, at times she, within a couple hours of both of us waking up, and I'll get a message and she'll be like, bitch, what was that about? What were you doing?
That's right.
So, and the few times that I've done it spiritually, like it is way harder when I'm trying to do it than when it just happens, at night sleeping, because maybe I'm falling asleep thinking about somebody, maybe what they're going through, and I just kind of go off and go check on them and come back. But when I want to go do it, I'm overthinking, my mind's in the way. I'm trying to ignore the refrigerator. I'm trying to ignore my cat licking himself. I'm trying to ignore all of the other things that are going on. But it's
I found that it was easiest for me to do it if I want. I mean, you're right. It would happen sometimes when I slept too. But when I really wanted to do it, back when I was doing it on a more regular basis, if I would meditate and go into meditation and really meditate, that would be enough to zone me out where I could do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's, takes practice. And do not pay any attention to Shirley MacLaine. You do not need a cord wrapped around your waist, and if it breaks, you die. You will always come back to your body. I know the lady. I've worked with the lady, and sometimes I wonder what planet she's from. So.
I mean, I do smaller versions when I'm doing distant healing work on people. But that whole, the full sense of you're physically all the way there, that's usually dreaming. And the one time I managed to do it, trying while meditating and seeing part of me come up out of myself, and I went, oh, I'm doing it, and fell right back down. So
you just got to go with the flow. You can't question any of it. You got to just do it.
So, and I'm like, I'll just stick with the more of a remote viewing while I'm healing, because then I'm just focused on that and not go, yay, and then cancel it. That boy asked, you once said you saw a devil with hooves. Why did it not attack you? If you only see earthbound spirits, how did you see that devil that time, which was not a spirit?
Well, he wasn't, I saw him in spirit form. So, and obviously he's not from the light, so I would be able to see him. And I don't care. I really, truly believe that positive energy is stronger than negative energy, and white is stronger than dark. And so he never even tried to make eye contact with me. And so, no, I didn't like seeing him, but I was actually not afraid of him. I was more curious, but no, he just never did.
Oh, hello, Sam. Have you ever heard of or seen, if you've been there, entities at the Century Tavern in North Ridgeville? And that's funny because that's been on my list of places. The tavern, last I was finding online, is actually closed. So I and my friend Nikki, who's an ex real estate agent, like we're trying to track down the owner of the building to get in there. But
Nope.
have you ever eaten there, been there?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay.
Nope. Yeah, Ted and I aren't one of these people that usually go to taverns to eat or anything like that. And seeing that we don't drink anymore, we haven't for years. So
It's cheaper to
no,
drink.
not really. Yeah, it's just
Oh, we have Stephen. Hello, Stephen from Anderson, Indiana. And there was a comment before about like how we need to go next door to Indiana.
oh well, yeah. See, Indiana, Pennsylvania, Michigan, they're Kentucky, and that's 5 hours away. We'll see about that. So
Well, there is that library that it's in Indiana, and it's close to part of Kentucky, and I can't think of the name of it, but it was actually either used in the Ghostbusters movie, or that's where they got the idea of the haunted library with the books flying off the shelves. And they have constant, like 24/7 ghost cameras on their website that you can log on and watch at any given point, and you might see stuff moving. I've been there. I smelled her perfume, but I didn't see her. It was kind of like I drove all this way just to smell your perfume.
happened. Right.
Fine then.
Better talk about the museum real fast too.
Yeah. So speaking of, in Sandusky here in Ohio, the Merry-Go-Round Museum, we will be doing an event there on the 26th from 12 to 3. So we have some space left for that one. We get the whole ground level and downstairs where they do the restorations. And this is where the haunted, and I think I've read somewhere where they call it like cursed horse from the merry-go-round of Cedar Point is restored and kept during off season. So we will be there. That one is $40. Buy your tickets ahead of time, or 45 day of if we have room to allow walk-ins to come join us.
No, and I know Bega Carousel, you want to bring your kids. This is nobody under 18 again. So, and we have people coming in from 3 different states for this too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. It's gonna be fun. Fun.
That's really nice.
So yeah, and then like we mentioned before, there are some spaces for the June 21st Zoom. And here is the link to join us. Otherwise, you're waiting till July 9th for the next one. So the 21st is a Monday, July 9th is Friday. So depending on which works for you. And that link there, when you go there, it will automatically pull up the available dates so you can see which one works best for you. Because I know our friend in Hong Kong was asking, and Lewis said he might be able to join us for an August one. So that'll be fun. And then there was also the question, kind of related to this. If somebody's home is clear and they're in California, how do they keep it that way since you can't go to California here anytime soon?
Well, people will buy the charm quinseeds and either call me and or come back on Zoom. And if your place is still clear, the seeds that you purchase can be put up and your house will be clear. Unfortunately, you'd have to, any door that goes directly to the outside, any fireplaces, and if you have well water, those are where the seeds need to be. When I do a house, it's just a seed that goes up. Unfortunately, I don't sell those separately. So if you want the seeds for the doors, you actually have to buy charms, and I would just buy the least expensive ones there are if that's what you're going to do.
Mm-hmm. And because I'm feeling feisty today, kids are not invited because they are small. And if there's something there that's going to scare them, they don't need to experience that. So if all you have to do is be cranky, go. Been nice, been ignoring, but I'm going to call you out now. we've already stated why kids are not allowed. If the parent wants to then tell their children what's going on the Zoom later, they can. But during in-person events, that's not our responsibility. Okay.
Everybody has an opinion. Before we get off, I want to do a real quick, Ted, and I think most of you know Ted is my husband. Ted is having surgery tomorrow. He has a melanoma on his face that has to be removed and checked out to make sure that it's just on his face. So anybody that feels like saying some prayers tomorrow, it would be appreciated. And of course, we'll let you know how it goes. And I hate to be doing this in a Mercury retrograde, but this is one of those instances where you don't mess around with something like this. You're not going to wait another 3 weeks to do this. You're going to do it as fast as you can. So that is why we are doing it tomorrow.
And the quick question about fireplaces with seeds. If they have a fireplace that's actually fluted or vented, you do need a fireplace seed.
And new houses, in a lot of states now have to have an egress window down in the basement. That needs a seed also because it is used as a door if there's a fire. So.
Mm-hmm. And I've heard of Punderson Manor. I've been working.
I've been there.
Yeah. So that's on my list of things. I've got so many like half conversations with places, and it's just that emailing back and forth. And
Punderson is full. Some group had me out there a number of years ago, and there's a lot of ghosts in Punderson.
So hopefully this will be fun. We'll get some.
We'll get some of this stuff done for this.
Yeah.
This summer, hopefully anyway.
And so Brooke has asked a few times about why you can't touch electronics. Does it impair your abilities? I don't know if you want to answer now or if we want to kick that over to maybe next week.
I don't know why. Cell phones, computers, anything like that. I cannot touch them. If I touch, this is Ted's computer that I'm on, and if I touch his computer, he's got to call the Geek Squad. If I want to use a cell phone or a computer, I seriously have to wear these heavy-duty rubber gloves, and even that doesn't stop at 100%. So that's why my phone is plug-in, no caller ID. I mean, it's push button. Phone in my bedroom is a princess phone. Still have that. I mean, I don't use any kind of, and that is why people are still complaining after one of these. They're writing on Facebook or they're writing, asking questions. I don't see any of the questions on computers. You have to call or you have to write to me. That's the only way. So getting angry at me for not answering or responding to your messages on Facebook, I don't see them.
If somebody has a queen seat above their main door and there's a doggy door, they don't need one on the doggy door, right? Because the whole door is done. Okay. Because there was that.
Yeah. If we wanted to get really, really technical, the seat is only good for about 3.5, 4 feet. Doors are usually 6 feet. And the only time I've ever had something come in through a doggy door was a ghost raccoon.
Okay. And I'm laughing now because my friend here found a little baby runt raccoon. And so technically right now there's this adorable little raccoon that's going to get released back outside. But I'm like, don't name it. Otherwise it won't wait.
Let it go. That's right.
But he's about yay big and it's kind of cute. But I'm like, he's going outside, right?
I had a friend in Worcester that had her little guy. Gosh, I think she had him for about 3 years. And then they finally, he acted like he wanted to go out into the woods, and they did it in the spring, and he went, and every now and then he shows back up. But no, they belong outside.
And trapdoor cellar doors, seeds for those?
If it's like the door from the Wizard of Oz where you pull it open and you go, yes, that would, anything that goes directly to the outside. Now the door that goes out to your garage from your attached garage is not an outside door. That's an inside door. But if you've got attics or crawl spaces, then you should have a seat on those too, even a pull down one in the garage. So,
Well, because after you came and got rid of that creepy 50-year-old guy that liked to hang out in bedrooms, like I had to take one of my extra necklaces and put it on my bump up for the attic because was still having an idiot come up
that way. Right.
Wow,
right.
You're persistent. So, all right. It's going to wrap up for today. So one last time, Zoom that still has spaces coming up on the 21st, but that link there will pull up all the dates and times that are available, be it June or July, and as we keep adding, so those will always work. There was a question if old Zoom links will work. They will not. A new one is created for every event just to keep people who haven't paid trying to come in. So there will be reminder emails if you had signed up and you accidentally deleted it. There will be reminder ones that go out like the morning of. And you can always send an email and say, hey, can you resend it? And we'll just resend that confirmation with it for you. But an old one will not work. We have the Merry-Go-Round Museum coming up later this month in June of 2021, in case somebody's watching this years down the line. With more events in the works. So hopefully you'll catch us. We've got a possible place out in Erie. There's a few other little places that we're working on. So, but you can always find out between Marianne's website, our website, and these Wednesday morning chats what we have going. And we would love to have Lewis on one of our Zooms. So actually anybody.
No, that's right. I mean, we've gotten a lot of people from out of the United States, which floors me. It's like, how do you even know about this? But
yeah.
Okay. Australia is big. A lot of people. So.
And just be mindful of the time change. It starts at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. So be mindful of that. Don't try to come on at like 10 o'clock at night and we're done. Because it's 7 your time. Like we start at 7:30 and sometimes we go late because we want to make sure everybody gets their time. And when we're done, we're tired. Marianne's tired. I'm just muted and calling people's names. I'm not doing a thing. I'm slacking during Zoom.
And we do the new people first so that they can make sure they get their questions. There are some people every week that are just on and they never ask questions. They just think it's better than Friday night or Monday night TV. And so they just are on for that reason. So even though 30 people are signed up, not always 30 people are talking or asking questions. But anybody that is new, just catching.
I want to be the coffee flavor, M&M.
Oh, I didn't even know there was one.
They're too good. I've eaten way too many of them. So now
coffee
I have
M&Ms?
They're very yummy.
Are there caffeine in them?
Unfortunately not.
There's caffeine in chocolate.
Yeah, coffee flavored chocolate. It's very
delicious. Okay, so we will do this again next Wednesday. Everybody have a really good week, and instead of trying to stay warm, stay cold.
Stay dry. If you're
dry, yeah, dry for sure.
Oh, did you talk real quick about what your episode is tonight on?
Oh, yeah, definitely the law of abundance tonight. Or scratch the Mercury retrograde. Yeah, going into a lot of detail on that tonight. So, like I said, I always don't do this and don't do that. There are some things you can't do. So
that's great for finishing projects, right? So
it really is.
All right. So Oh, where to watch. So these are always on Marianne's YouTube, the store's YouTube. They're usually on the store pages and personal pages. So, but YouTube, it's always there. Facebook can get a little funny. YouTube's pretty solid. So go subscribe to the channels and you'll always be alerted when either one of us is live like this for Wednesdays and when Marianne's Wednesday recorded sessions come out. So, all right. Well, thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you next Wednesday at 10 a.m. Bring your coffee, bring your tea, bring your muffins, because I know Brooke had muffins. So.
Good enough. Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you, guys.